South Africa is officially in a second wave of COVID-19 infection. While the Eastern and Western Cape have been of some concern for a number of weeks now, the exponential rise in cases in Gauteng and in KwaZulu-Natal in recent days have tipped us into our second wave. This comes as many of us are planning a trip home or to the coast for the holidays. So should we put those plans on hold? I'm joined now by KwaZulu-Natal Premier Sihle Zikalala. Good evening, Premier. Thanks so much for your time. Should we cancel our holidays to KwaZulu-Natal?
No, that won't be correct. KwaZulu-Natal will be open for all those who are coming for holidays and to spend the festive season with us. We are going to be implementing, however, strict measures to ensure that all of us observe and implement the protocols that are in place. That includes ensuring that when we go public, we wear masks. It includes that we sanitize. It includes we wash hands and observe social distance. And therefore, we encourage that people can come and be with their families in resorts, in guest houses, and in hotels, and around Durban, but avoid places that are overcrowded.
Will the beaches be closed?
We have not taken a decision to close beaches, and we must be clear on that because we have heard some in the hospitality industry suggesting that the decision to stop big events is closing beaches. No, we are not there. We are allowing people to be around, but we are not going to have any event that will be taking place around.
Sorry, I just missed that last part of your answer. Are you saying beaches will not be closed?
Beaches will not be closed for now. That is the decision we have taken. If it comes to the push, we might be forced to close only swimming, but allow people who are coming around and be around the beach, who entertain themselves, who comes for leisure, except where people will be forced to take out masks, and that then we will not allow people to take out masks.
So you're saying you might have to look at stopping swimming because people would take their masks off to swim?
Yes, that is the technicality, but we have not reached any decision as yet. We are allowing people to be around. We are allowing people, but based on following the protocols that are in place.
We've spoken to a number of scientists who say that because beaches tend to be quite windy places and very well ventilated, and because we know the virus dies quickly in the sun, that the beaches are actually pretty safe. But of course we know that there are special days, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, where thousands and thousands of people just love to go to the beach. Is that what you're concerned about?
This is what is our concern, and the 16th of December, the 26th, and the New Year's Eve, that becomes times when people celebrate, and we are going to be working with all law enforcement agencies, health practitioners to ensure that protocols and regulations that are in place are followed.
Who's going to make a decision about the beaches? Is it going to be you, or is it going to be at cabinet level with the National Coronavirus Command Council and ultimately the President?
Ultimately, it is the President based on engagement and consultation, and that's why we are saying there is no such decision because the President has not announced such a decision.
Yeah, but of course it's not completely off the cards, as you've just explained to us. The Belito Rage Festival, it was a super spreader event. Are you considering legal action against the organisers?
The Command Council will take decision that, but there must be consequences, and we cannot leave that situation unattended.
We understand there have been other parties. Have you got a handle on when these parties happen, and are you able to break them up?
All parties that are big and not family orientated in terms of people who comes in, meaning that they must be inside the vicinity of people's homes, we are going to be monitoring them very, very strictly and seriously. We are right now going all out to monitor and ensure that people are following the regulations, even in the restaurants. So we are going to be more strict.
Of course, you can't be everywhere all the time. Are you perhaps in favour of the kind of restrictions we're seeing coming into play in Nelson Mandela Bay, which of course is an earlier curfew, shorter liquor trading hours, that sort of thing? Do you think you might be moving in that direction quite soon?
No, I don't believe that is a question of choice. It is a question that is guided by scientific analysis in terms of the numbers. For now, numbers have not reached that point, but we see that we are having a concerning situation. And therefore, we are for now issuing a message that let us all follow the rules that are in place and ensure that we decrease the new infection. The numbers of new infections must be lowered. We must lower the curve.
Premier, in other news from your province, and I'm going to play some visuals from a bridge that was recently unveiled, we understand, in KwaNongoma. It shows effectively a dirt road built over a river and a few concrete blocks along the side of this dirt road. We understand that this bridge cost 4 million rand. First of all, can you confirm that this, and I have to say, looks like an excuse for a bridge in my view, cost 4 million rand? Are you aware of this project? Are you happy that 4 million rand was spent properly? And will you be investigating?
We are going to investigate this because it is not the mandate of municipalities to build bridges. It is a mandate of the department unless that bridge is under the local road. And therefore, if it is under the district road, it must also follow the technical requirements of building bridges, which I think the standard on its own is quite shocking. And therefore, we are going to investigate this. There is no municipality which can just do this thing and be left. We are going to follow it seriously.
You know, Premier, how does this keep happening? I mean, this is the frustrating thing for you, for all of us. We see money is used for projects that, on the face of it, from the pictures that we have seen, suggest that this money was squandered. And you know what is heartbreaking is that the community seems so prepared to accept what looks like an insult of a bridge.
Yes, and that's what we must fight. We must conscientize our people not to to believe in things that are not effective and efficient. This should be work done in KwaNongoma. We need to ensure that it's investigated, and we are going to take serious actions because it's clear that people just wasted the money of government, and that needs to be, they need to be held accountable for that.
All right. Well, please do update us on that as soon as there is more news. Premier, thank you very much for your time this evening. That, of course, is the KwaZulu-Natal Premier, Sihle Zikalala, telling us that while there are no plans at this point to close beaches or to close swimming, it is not off the table, and it is a decision that ultimately rests with the President, and it also rests with what those COVID numbers are doing. So essentially the message is, if you want a holiday, wear your mask, social distance, because if those numbers keep climbing, we might be facing a really horrible situation where you might go on holiday, and he says, please, everyone must still come, but you might not have access to the beach all the time. But let's wait to hear from the President. We know he is due to speak to us in due course, the Health Minister said, so hopefully in the next few days.